I'm Erin.
And I'm Jamie Lee.
We've been working on a project with other children and young people that looks at how professionals should respond when young people experience online harm.
Shaped by our own experiences, there's a lot to think about.
But what do we mean by online harm? Online harm is any online behaviour that can cause emotional, physical or sexual harm to a person.
There are so many ways children can get hurt or exploited through the internet, social media, gaming and apps.
We're in a world where things change so fast, people don't always stop to think about whether it's safe for us.
It's not that we are in the wrong place, things can happen in plain sight.
Children and young people have a level of online access that simply wasn't available 20 years ago. It's not our job to keep ourselves safe. We're still children. Adults should be protecting us from harm.
In this short series of animations, we're going to give our advice to police, social workers, staffs in school, and parents and people who care for us. Are you ready? We often find police officers intimidating. It might be the language you use,
or the uniform you wear.
That's right, I found it quite stressful having police officers in full uniform standing in our house.
It also matters when and where you choose to meet with us. If we need to talk to you, then we're a priority.
You wouldn't turn up late if someone was abused in the street, so why would you do it if it's online?
If you tell us you're coming at a specific time, be there. It's important to remember that we are children.
And that maybe we are stressed, confused and upset by what's happened.
And no, it's not our fault.
So it's important that you listen carefully to us without judgment and take us seriously.
Responding sensitively will also help us feel more comfortable talking to you. No matter how an investigation progresses, please keep us up to date with what is happening.
And remember to keep your explanations simple. Check we're getting what you're saying without us needing a dictionary.
When I met the police, I found it really hard to understand some of the words that they used. And so, if there's one thing you should remember, we are children and we are the ones that have been harmed. It's not our fault. We've had some difficult experiences with social workers.
This is what we need you to know if we've been harmed online.
Don't just show up. Expecting us to open up to a stranger can feel uncomfortable and stress-inducing.
You need to work with us to build a relationship. Why would we trust someone we don't know?
It also needs to be the same person too, and it's helpful if we can get some information about who you are before our first session. It's important we know when, where and why you're going to meet with us.
Do make sure this happens at an appropriate time and place. I was pulled out of one of my favourite classes without notice, which was stressful.
Think carefully about what you ask or information you share.
One time things were brought up about my past I didn't know or remember because they happened when I was very young.
Please avoid asking us to share our experiences over and over and over again because you feel like a broken record after a while. It can take you back down again.
Make sure you're properly understanding the online world that we experience.
Boundaries also matter a lot. I remember a social worker asking to see my diary. That's not on. Help other staff that might interact with us by making sure there are clear notes.
When meetings finish, think about how we might feel afterwards and offer follow-up support. These sessions can be tough.
And it's so important for you to remember and to show us that you are on our side.
It didn't happen on school premises, so there's nothing we can do. You wouldn't believe how often I've heard this from our teachers.
Where it happens is not important if it's going to impact pupils in school.
And it really does.
Online is your responsibility. So when we report an issue, please take it seriously. And respond to it in a timely manner. Communicating clearly with us is really important.
School is a place where you are meant to learn and be safe.
But so much of what we discover about the online world happens elsewhere. That doesn't feel right.
These topics should be a key part of the curriculum.
That means teachers properly understanding the issues and risks that we face. Resources need to be up to date, considering how drastically things change.
I remember we talked about online harm once when I was 13, once.
We talk more about things like bullying or smoking or drinking. But the world is very different for young people now, compared to only a few years ago.
School staff need to understand so they can take actions that will keep us safe.
Parents and people who care about us can find the online world tough.
Things have changed so much over the years. Risks have increased.
Adults often have direct access to children. That can create a risk that wouldn't happen in the real world.
You don't have any idea if people are who they say they are, which is pretty scary.
So the longer you can keep your child offline, the better. My mum didn't understand the risks, and I was on the internet from the age of 8.
It's important that you talk to us about the dangers of going online before you let us have access. The more you're able to understand about what we are doing, the better.
We have seen content that includes drug taking, graphic images and abusive footage, and this is often celebrated.
Keep talking to us too, because things can change all the time.
And if something does go wrong, we need to feel that you won't be angry with us.
We need to know that it can be fixed and you will be there for us.
You'll find lots of good advice on the Children First website.